We're here at Atos headquarters in San Diego, California. One of the best gyms in the world. Very proud of this place here, and we are on the week 3. Okay, week 3 from the training camp for Kaynan versus Nick Rod. That will happen. Who's number 1? 26.
27.
Sorry about that. That will happen. Who's number 127? And we still have like about 5 weeks, until the fight. Kaynan is doing really well. He's getting better every day. He was traveling a lot, teaching seminars after the ADCC. He got a lot of opportunities to go all over the world and teach his jiu-jitsu and make some money, of course, right, with all of that. Kaynan is representing jiu-jitsu, nowadays really well. He's a very good guy, not only a great fighter, but also a great person as well. So he deserves everything that he is getting right now, and I can't wait for the outcome of this fight. I hope they can fight really well. I know Nicky Rod is incredible fighter. He's very talented. Very talented, and I coach against Nicky Rod a couple times. They both competed against each other as well, but I believe Nicky Rod evolved so much lately. He's a very dangerous opponent for sure.
So I want to ask you before about this meeting of Nicky Rod and Kaynan. I want to take it back to the first time they met at 2019 ADCC. Do you remember that much at all?
I remember for sure.
You want to kind of talk about that encounter, or I guess actually to start, do you remember kind of first figuring out who Nicky Rod was? Because he kind of blew up very quickly. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, of course, definitely. Nicky Rod, he became, I would say, super famous in the scenario of jiu-jitsu for being a blue belt that was defeating black belts world champions, including that ADCC 2019. He defeated Cyborg. I think it was in the quarterfinals or semifinals.
Yeah, he had
something. Muhammad Ali, right? All these giants, right? And then he did so well, and nobody knew much about him, and it's kind of a little bit hard for you to study about your opponents when you don't have much matches, right? And Nick was a wrestler that became a jiu-jitsu fighter, and he learned really quick. Of course, we knew that he didn't have a great guard back then, and in certain aspects he's still improving his jiu-jitsu. He knows that, and for the past I would say 5 years, he improved so much. In 5 years he became black belt. Now he's a black belt officially, right? Under Craig Jones, right? He trains at the team B, and he gained more and more experiences, especially with the super fights. And definitely very dangerous opponents since the blue belt, right? Since the blue belt. Now with this 5 years of, let's say, extra experience, he became even more dangerous, right? But I remember when Nick popped up, his name popped up, everybody was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. He blew everybody's mind, and everybody was like, oh my God, this guy is definitely really good. And also, the way he fought was incredible, right? It's not only winning those guys, but the way he put on the game, right? He showed up, he put the pressure, and he took them down, and he scrapped a big scrap with them. Some of those fights he won by decision, but he proved everyone that he was capable to be in the finals of the ADCC. And then in the finals with Kaynan, also Kaynan was his rookie year in the ADCC. Not a rookie year, but he fought this 2017, but he didn't have a great championship in 2017. But then in 2019, it was when Kaynan turned up, and he competed in the over 99. And I remember he defeated Buchecha and some other big names Yuri Simões, other ADCC champions. And they both went to the finals. 2 young guys in the finals. Kaynan was I think the second year black belt, or first year and a half. And Nick was just a blue belt, right? And in the finals, we knew that it could be dangerous if we work standing the whole time. and then Kaynan had a very good strategy, and he ended up taking his back, and he succeeded in the victory.
How has Kaynan progressed since that meeting? Because I feel like everyone's seen Nicky Rod. Obviously, he's almost like a different person now.
Yeah.
But how has Kaynan kind of progressed since?
Yeah, so I believe Kaynan is now more like into. He always controlled the fight really well, right? But I believe like his knowledge in learning, because sometimes people they have the knowledge of the technique, but you have to know how to absorb the technique. And for the past few years, especially from the last ADCC until now, Kaynan, he understood the power of gaining knowledge, the knowledge that he has, but also understanding how you get that knowledge, right? In different aspects. I think Kaynan improved a lot his life in terms of, I would say, his personal life, right? He got better with that. Because it's not only the things that happen on the mat that's important for the athlete, it's the things that happen off the mat as well. It matters a lot, and Kaynan understood that. I think spiritually he's in a different spot, more mature for sure. Kaynan is very mature since the beginning, but he's even more. If you don't know, like Kaynan, he grew up with his family, and his father wasn't present the whole time, so he has to be the leader of the house. He's at a young age, and I think that gave him a lot of maturity. And today, like with all this, with everything that he overcame, in his life and all the titles that he got, it gave him like I would say a good mood, right, to be ready for this challenge, for any challenge, honestly. And we all know that Kaynan has the I would say the skills, right, to be one of the greatest for sure. Like we have no doubt about that. But in this world, there's a lot of tough opponents, right? And I think his last fight against Murgali was something that made him reflect a lot about his life and put him in a different spot. So, and then you saw the difference when he was at ADCC. It was a different animal, right? Like he controlled and submitted pretty much almost everyone. Like only one fight he couldn't submit, and it was one of the best performances I ever seen in ADCC.
So one thing I'm curious about is, because the ADCC this year was a little weird with CJI and everything,
Yeah.
And so now we're kind of bringing together the ADCC double gold champion against the $1 Million Man Nicky Rod CJI champion.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, what do you think about this super fight? Do you think this is one of the biggest ever? Do you think it's important to kind of mesh these two guys and have them face off?
Yes, man. Like it was a weird year, I would say, right, for us, but also I think there was a lot of benefits in both sides, and that for that happened, like let's say that CGI happened one side and the ADCC happened the other side, and everybody was like, oh, but what about if this guy was ADCC? Things would be different. Oh, what about if Kaynan was in the CGI? Like people would start like having these questions, and I think it's super, super awesome to mix it up, putting the champions from one event to fight against the champions from the other event. That would be incredible. I would love to see like also Cade versus, let's say, Mika, right? Or Cade versus, it was Mika, right, that won the 77, right? And also Cade versus the guy who won the 88. That would be like a crazy matchup as well. But right now it's about Kaynan versus Nicky Rod. The biggest, I would say, the biggest fighters in the world. They are like over 99 kilos. They're beasts. Like Kaynan one under 99, but he's a beast, right? He can fight any weight division. And Nicky Rod is just like over 99 guy, super athletic. And I think for sure this is like a clash of titans, for sure, clash of titans.
How do you think this kind of this era Nicky Rod versus this modern Kaynan, how do you think this match goes down?
Man, I think both of them gain a lot of experiences, right? If you talk about like since 2019 till now, there was like extra 2 ADCCs that gave them a lot of experience. Not only that, they always active. They fight in super fights back to back all the time. Every year they fight a couple super fights. like 3 or more, in different rule sets. Definitely is a fight that both of them have to respect each other. You know, they have to make sure that they train hard, they get prepared for that, because it's not an easy match to any of them. You know, so anything can happen. But right here at Atlas headquarters, we are doing our best to make sure that Kaynan go out there and give 100%, like everything that he can, and maybe in even a better version than ADCC, so he can come back home with the victory. But we know that Nicky Rod is on fire. He definitely wants to fight Kaynan, and I think Kaynan was. I think they fought like 2 or 3 times, something like that, 2 times, right?
Yeah, they fought twice. They fought in 2019 and then immediately a fight to win. Like,
fight to win, exactly. After. Yeah, exactly. So. And
then kind of like it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
They never fought again.
It's crazy, right? Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah. So, man, this is so important for a sport. You know, every time a fight like that happens, it brings like more audience to the sport. You know, more people will start training jiu-jitsu, more people get motivated. More athletes start like training harder. You know, I think they can definitely like change not only like themselves but also the whole community. You know.
For sure. So I know we don't have a lot of time, but I just want to ask you kind of one more thing. I know it meant a lot to Kaynan to win the absolute at ADCC. And he kind of solidified himself as, I mean, one of the best ever, to be honest, with that type of performance, but definitely one of the best active grapplers today. Mm-hmm. What do you think it would mean to him to kind of come in and get a win over Nicky Rod on who's #1? Would that be validating in some way? Would it kind of, what do you think it would mean to Kaynan to get that victory? I think what Kaynan would love most is to make sure that Nick transfer the money to him, you know, from CGI. But I know that's not going to happen, right? But just joking. But honestly, I think it means a lot. You know, it means a lot for Kaynan. You know, because it's gonna put his name like on as the best grappler nowadays. You know, like put in the #1 rank. So they are fighting for that rank. You know, so it's good. We see like who's #1. You know, so we'll see. I think definitely they're in the top 3 right now, you know, top 2, top 3. So let's get that spot, you know. So that's what is gonna change his life. Awesome. Thank you, Andre. Right. I know you're busy, so I appreciate you coming by.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, it is wild. They never.
It's crazy, right? Yeah.